Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to another live here at my YouTube channel. Before we get going on the live, I wanted to let you guys know that in my last video where I used these really cute stamp images from Colorado Craft Company, that they have free shipping through tonight. And also some kind of opportunities to win some giveaways. So if you want to know more about the giveaways, go to my last video. But I also have a link down below that will take you directly to the bundle for all three of the stamp sets with the dies. Just wanted to let you guys know right at the top of my live today that that free shipping is through tonight. So just wanted to let you guys know. Hello. So many fun, familiar faces. I haven't been live on here for a bit, so it's nice to get back into the swing of things. Hello. Okay, so covered that bit of housekeeping. So cute. Love those little cards. I'm going to set them aside, and we're going to get into today's kind of crafting. So I'm going to be using this stamp set from Simon Says Stamps latest card kit. I believe it's the August 2024 card kit. This is called Graceful Flowers, and I've already done a little bit of pre-stamping so we can get going here. I'm going to be watercoloring the flowers today. So I've already stamped them. I've got it right here. I've stamped and heat embossed and gilded embossing powder from Burtis Monroe. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this taped down to my board here. So the Graceful Flower stamp set has this really big flower image, and it nestles in just perfect with each other, with each side. So I thought that would be great to kind of have them creating a little section like that. So it's actually going to be an A2 card. So it's going to be cut down a little bit, like here. I'm planning to put my greeting right here, but I thought I would get the painting done first before I cut it down and put my greeting on. I cannot. My nails are getting too long, y'all. I'm going to have to chop them down. Oh, I can't get it. Come on. This is when you know your nails are too long. Nails are jewels, not tools. There we go. Let's get that started. Okay. Oh, Amanda's saying, I wish it would rain here to be cooler. She's actually talking to Andrea, but yes, I agree. It's so much better when there's a summer rainstorm that comes through. Oh my word, I did it to myself again. Oh no, right here, okay. I usually try to leave a little bit of a tail on the masking tape so that I can grab it more easily. But I just didn't the last few times. See, I just leave a little tail like that. Okay, we're going to be, or I will be painting with Karin markers today. I loved doing that last week. This is bugging the crap out of me. Let's fix that right now. We're doing a bit of cutting of strings on jackets. There we go. Okay, I feel better about that now. Okay, so for this stamp, I did want to say something about it in regards to stamping in the MISTI, because where I have these positions on my paper, like you can only have this big huge image in your MISTI going the long ways, and you have to like move the paper around to where you want it. So I mean, just to be aware. And then also there was one moment when I was stamping this image up here at the top that I actually had the stamp kind of hanging out the edge of the MISTI. Totally, you can do that. It works well. Okay. All right. Thank you, Vicki, for the tumbler. Yes, it's lovely. I've washed it. It's put some ice in it. It's great. For the colors for today's project, I thought I would pick out something from the color cube. Haven't done this in a while. This is the volume 1. So I'm not sure. Let's see. I don't know if I'm just going to find something off the bat that I want to use or what, but sometimes it's easier to flip through the PDF, and see something in the PDF that strikes my fancy. Okay, these are all kind of, I want something a little bit more colorful. If any of you have a color cube and you have a one that you really, really love, like a number, call it out in the chat and I'll pick that. I'm just, oh, that one's nice. Nice and colorful. All those pinks and reds. This is obviously like a Valentine's Day section of some sort. That one's kind of pretty. Kind of like a teal with a dark teal, reds, and then a brown. That could be interesting. I like that one. I'm going to put my finger on it just in case. All right, I'm still holding on to this one just in case. Just in case that's the one I want to do. That one's a contender. It is kind of spot on with the flowers and all that, but I think it'll be really pretty. All right, I'm just going to put this Post-it in right there so I can get to that number quick. And then I'm going to kind of, I can only see the top edge of each card, so I don't know what all the colors are. Ooh, those are pretty. Those are really pretty too. Okay, I need something like super, you know what? Picking out a color at random, but have it be something that I like is difficult. So I'm going to open up the PDF and kind of flip through it. The thing that's nice about the color catalog PDF is that you have, there's some keywords. Hold on, let me find it. There we go. We want color catalog volume 1. Okay, opening the file right now. Okay, so, oh, this is the printable version. This is not the one I want. No, we don't want the printable version. We want the regular version. The printable version doesn't have the links in it to go back and forth. Okay. So if I go to the top of the PDF, hello, go back. Okay, so I go by keywords. Then it has all the keywords that I can pick from. So I think, let's see. I guess I could just do flowers or summer. How about summer? Yeah. Summer ones are right here, but these spring ones up here are really nice too. Oh, 016. Vicki is saying 016. What's that one? Oh, very subdued. 159 from Consuela. Oh, okay. Like dark reds and some grays. Interesting. Card 13. Why do we need to know card 13? You can pull it out. That's 13. Okay. All right. I'm going back to like the bright spring colors. Like if there's anything that really catches my eye. That one's really pretty. I like that. 084. Let's do 84. Those are really pretty. I think that's going to look really pretty with these. All right, I'm going to put my little Post-it. I mean, they're by color. Easy enough to put it back, but just to make it even easier on myself later to put it back in the right spot. Okay, so now I've got to pick out my Karin marker colors that are similar. Oh, someone suggested 13. That's why, okay. All right, so here are my swatches for my Karin markers, and someone said that I was brave to be painting in a white jacket. Well, I'm taking it off because I'm getting a little bit warm, so that didn't last. Oh, my microphone's going with it. Come back. I forgot my mic was in the jacket pocket. Okay. hook my mic back on myself, and we'll be back in business. Hey, Sika. Okay, so let's pick some similar colors. So, ooh, that one's really similar. Let me zoom in here. So I'll pick 358. That is red lilac. This like purpley shade. Well, I found that one. That one's really close. 075. That one is burgundy. This kind of purpley shade, that might be a little bit hard to match. I guess the closest is this one. All right, that one is lilac. Need kind of a golden yellow, but it's a little bit on the greenish side. So I would say this one right here, 269. That one is sulfur yellow. And then this nice green. Ooh, I'm trying to decide between these two. You know what? I got enough green here. I probably could do both. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab both. So those colors are olive green, that one's olive, and this one is olive black. Okay. So I've got my little swatch chart over there. Here's my colors. And I'm going to grab a little palette so I can scribble my markers out on it for my painting. Let's zoom out here just a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right. So here are all of my colors. I kind of wish the caps were the full color like the original Brush Marker Pros are. It's a little easier to see, but okay, so it looks really different from here, but the swatches show the colors really well. Like this pink, I'm almost thinking I want to switch it to this other pink instead because it is more bright. I think I do. I'm going to switch it to that one. So those are our colors. Ta-da! Okay. All right. I'm going to move my little color over there, and I'm going to put some marker out on my palette so that I can kind of do an underlayer of painting. I have noticed with these that some of the caps are much tighter than my old Karin markers, which is not a bad thing. Like, that was really hard to open. All right, and then a little bit of this sulfur yellow, which is kind of a greenish yellow. Okay, I'm going to use a size 8 brush to get going here. All right, and I'm just gonna like pick up some color. We just want to do like an underlayer. Get these colors really kind of spread out. Let's grab some of that purple up here. I'm paying no attention to where the colors are right now. I just want to get color out onto my project. I am planning to do, what's the word? Heat embossing for my grading, which is, I'm planning to be down right here. So I want to make sure that I have a little bit of a darker color so that when I do that heat embossing over the top, it'll show really well. I'm gonna grab a little more of that yellow, bring it over here. Okay, interesting little combo of colors. I think that'll be really fun once we start painting on top. All right, so I'm going to use my heat tool, but I'm gonna make sure I keep the heat tool moving because I don't want any of the gold embossing powder to remelt. People are asking about a color cube. Let me go grab a link for you. Give me one moment. I will grab a link and I will put it in the video description as well as in the chat. Okay, if you refresh, it'll be in there, but I'm also just going to put it in the chat right now. There you go. Oh, I haven't got the hiccups. That's cute. Okay, continuing drying. Okay, I think that's dry for the most part. I'm just going to grab a little bit of paper towel just to grab those little wet spots right there. All right, and I'm also going to grab a clean bit of paper towel just so I can kind of dab off my brush as I'm painting. All right, and let's start with the green shades, just because I kind of want to get some of this going over here. I don't think I'm going to be using my palette as much, so I'm just going to move this over. I mean, I might, but I'm kind of not planning to. Okay. All right, where do I want to start? Guess I'll start right in here. Getting my brush wet. And then just pulling that color from the edge. Because these paints are pretty transparent, they do layer really well on top of each other. I think y'all are talking about Disney World in the chat, right? I've missed the beginning of the conversation. I would love to go to Disney World, but it is too hot there right now. All right, I'm gonna let that dry and then I can come back in with a little bit of that darker green as well. since we're not looking at the palette, we can zoom in here. All right, this is a bunch of leaves right here. So I'm going to get those leaves in. I'm using Karin Realbrush Marker Pros. They have 2 different water-based markers now. Each set has the same colors, but there's just brush tip options. So this one has kind of a real brush tip on it. There's little, looks like little fibers or whatever. The original Brush Marker Pros are a felt tip marker. I feel like I can get into little tiny corners a little bit easier with this version, but I love the original version too. All right, I'm gonna come up here, get this leaf. In fact, you know what I might do? Might grab this sulfur yellow as well. And I'll just, because it is kind of like a limey green on top of things, but and I can get a little bit of that brighter green kind of mixing in. I like that. I wish I would have done it up here. In fact, let's see if I could add a little bit of that bright green. Oh yeah, that brightness does come through. That's great. I like having like the mixture of colors. I think it makes it more interesting. Oh, Linda says, just finished up yesterday's cards from your Brutus class. You did a great job. I'll post them tomorrow. Awesome. So glad. Oh, Andrea says that her cat is all calm in her lap listening to the live today. That's great. You know, my friend Jana, she has a couple cats, and when she first got her cat, her oldest cat, she wasn't real cuddly, I guess you could say. She has gotten much more that way as she's gotten older, but when she first was a little kitten, she really wasn't too cuddly. And when I went to visit her in Ohio, I went to see her and Gracie, her little cat, and I was one of the first ones that could get Gracie to kind of calm down. So maybe I am a little bit of a cat whisperer in that way. I really love how these greens are working on top of this background. Sometimes I wonder if it's the smartest to do like, you know, like the pink up here. It would be kind of bad to put green right on top of it since they're you know, kind of a green and red are complementary colors, but I think it's working really well. Okay, a few more leaves. Add some more of this sulfur yellow down here, which really is a whole lot more kind of limey green than anything else. I'm using a size 2 round brush, and that's helping me have more control and not adding too much water all at once. I think that really helps. All right, one more little leaf and then we'll get into the flowers, and I think that's where it's really going to start to look really pretty. You know, I wouldn't have ever thought that this sulfur yellow was a green shade, and I don't think I've ever used it before. So the color cube really does encourage me to go out of my comfort zone and use different colors. For sure. All right, this over here is looking really, really bright, so I'm just gonna try to get that a little bit. Just want a little bit more of a nuanced color. Okay, that'll work. All right, I'm gonna put that away. I do want like a yellow to actually come through, so I am gonna grab another yellow. I'm gonna grab Canary, and I think I will add that because I think I just want a yellow flower right here. So last night my husband and I, we watched a movie on Disney Plus. Have you guys watched Big Business? The movie, you know, with Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin from the 80s. Have you seen that recently? Oh, that movie's kind of ridiculous, but it's entertaining and it's pretty cute. All right, I'm going to grab that bright pink. I'm just going to start to bring it in a little bit so I can kind of get like a mixture of color. I don't want to lose all of the yellow, but I do want to get it to kind of spread a little bit. Uh-oh, I picked up some of that green. That's okay. This pink really does go a long way. Yeah, Big Business made me think of, what's the movie with Diane Keaton when she is like a business woman and then she ends up having a baby and she inadvertently starts a baby food company? What one's that one called? I always get Big Business and that one mixed up. Okay, I'm thinking I need to do another flower in those same colors. So I'm trying to decide which flower I should do that for. I'm just gonna finish up this last one. Baby Boom, that's what it's called. Okay, I think I'll have this one over here be yellow as well, which it's over the purple, so that could be a little bit dangerous, but I think it'll look great. So interesting how this yellow really does, even on top of the purple, it still is fairly vibrant. Like you really can layer these on top of each other. I think it looks really cool. All right, I'm gonna let that mostly dry. And let's do a purple flower. Let's see here. Actually, we'll stick with the pink and we'll do the purple as a shadow. So we're mostly just trying to get this pink kind of spread out to the outer edges of the petals. Okay, we're talking about Posca markers. I have a bunch of Poscas that I bought a while ago. Sika, what are you doing with your Posca markers? All right, I'm going to come in with, this is actually like the maroon, the burgundy color. I'm just going to like darken up the center of the flower. Kind of get those colors moving a little bit. All right, I'm going to use the darkest color and just fill in that center area. Can also use a little bit of that on my brush to kind of spread out that dark shade into other areas. It's a pretty cute flower. Okay, so we want one to be more on the purple side, but I'm going to have it be pink to purple, so I'm going to use the pink shade again on the bottom of these petals. So that I can get the pink going, and then I'll use purple to add the shading, and then it will read more like a purple flower and not just pink. Posca markers are an acrylic paint marker. They can be used on top of dark surfaces, basically like a pigment marker. Okay, I'm gonna grab the purple now. And I'm just going to add the purple right there. And then as I start to spread the purple around, it should start to make this flower look like a little bit of a different color. All right, and then we're going to go back in a minute and add that pink to the yellow flower over here on the left. Add a little dimension to that and it'll start to look better. These almost look like the same color flower, even though I used different colors for shading. Isn't that interesting? All right, I'll just use this dark purple for these centers. I haven't quite decided what I'm doing for the little circular stamen. Haven't quite decided what I'm doing for those yet. I might just try to put the yellow on it. Okay, so now we're going to come in and add a little bit of pink right at the bottom of these yellow petals. And it should give us a similar look to what's happening over here on the right, or in the center, I should say. Almost looks like kind of almost like fire and ice roses, like the color of fire and ice roses, doesn't it? Kind of fun. All right, adding some more pink right through here. Okay. I'm going to use the dark burgundy color for the center of that flower. Okay, and then we can kind of do the same painting on the other flowers because it's the same stamp image twice, right? All right, I'm gonna put this yellow just right on top here. All right, so I'm gonna rotate this. In fact, you know what? I kind of wish I had more yellow on these little pieces here. So I'm gonna bring in a little more yellow on those areas. Okay. Totally just got a little drop of water right there. Made an interesting little spot. That's okay. In fact, we might do that later because now we know it'll eat away the colors, or rather it reminded me. So, okay, I'm gonna have, I think I'll have this flower be yellow right here. Just trying to get that yellow to kind of spread out. All right, and then I think I'll have, this flower be yellow too. I really like how bright the yellow flowers look on this background. I think it's so pretty. Okay, going to my magenta, and like I did before, I'm just going to add a little bit of that pink to kind of get that color moving. Kind of reminds me of like a peach, like the inside of a peach, right? All right, and then do the same thing over here. Just trying to get those colors moving. I do need 3 hands. I need one to hold the brush, one to hold the marker, and then one to hold the paper towel. Added a little too much water there. That's okay, just getting it spread out. Got some harsh water lines over here on this one, so I'm going to come back in and add a little bit of water on like a damp brush, on my damp brush, to sort of just soften that line a little bit. It's not really working. That's okay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it kind of worked over there a little bit. Yeah, it sort of worked. Okay, so let's do a couple of pink and purple flowers. Let's see, we'll have this one be the pink one. I think because of like the underpainting that not all the flowers, even though I'm painting with the same colors, they don't look like they're the same colors, you know? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and since this one, even though I'm going to shade it with different colors, it all starts with pink. So I'm going to start it with pink over here as well. Another movie we watched this weekend, the new Ghostbusters, the Frozen one. Like, what was it, Frozen Empire or something like that? That's another movie we watched this weekend. Oh, hey, Mindy. I didn't see you come in earlier. Hello. Okay. So now I'm going to go back and grab the darker shades for those. So I'm using the burgundy on this flower. So it'll give it more of a red tone. Yeah, I think I'm going to do like some water splatter, kind of like that kind of bleaching look. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of gold splatter. I think that could be really pretty. I'm going to do it, I'm going to preserve an area for my grading though when I do it. Okay, I'm grabbing the purple. And we're going to do the shading on the purple over here. Hopefully it'll give us a little bit of a different color. I really don't know how much of this flower is really going to be included on the card. Like I said, I'm going to be trimming it down to an A2 card size. So I think quite a bit of the sides will get cut off, but I'll just you know, give myself as much to work with as possible. Okay. Need them some centers of flowers. Do a little bit of the burgundy for that one. A little bit for this one as well. And then I think for these flowers, I'm going to just use that burgundy color and just do the details in the centers. I don't know why it would be different colors, but I'm going to do the yellow on those. Okay, and I already have like water over here eating away at that, so we'll just, yeah, there we go. Okay. So here, it looks kind of tropical. Looks kind of tropical, right? Kind of love it. Okay, let's do a little bit of heat tool just to make sure everything's dry, and then I'm gonna do the water droplets on top. Got like a lot of paint right there. Okay, got my spray bottle. I'm just gonna try to get some droplets in some different areas. Let that sit for just a moment. Then I'm gonna put my paper towel over the top and it'll eat away at some of that color. Or a lot of it, I don't know. Oh, okay. Look how much color it pulled up. I think it almost gives it like a bokeh look. You know, like I want to add even more. I think I do. Let's dry this and then I'll do another layer. I don't want it to get too wet. Okay. Get a little, come on, droplets. Let's go here. Okay. Clean off my hand. I'm gonna grab a clean paper towel. There we go. Wow, look how much that picked up. It looks almost like it's like a rainy day or something. It looks cool. Okay. I'm gonna dry this and then do, oh no, I just got water all over my color cube card. Hold on. It's okay. It's got a slick surface. Have my Christmas Yuli watercolors right here. Gonna do, I think we're gonna go into gold, just Christmas gold. Just put a couple drops of water in there. And then I'm going to grab a slightly larger brush. Size 6. Just going to try to get this paint really nice and thick. Then we'll just do a little bit of paint splatter. In fact, I'll let that sit for a minute. I'm going to put a Post-it note kind of over the area where I'm going to have my grading, because I don't want any like gold splatter right there. So I'm just gonna cover that up. And I'm also gonna get out an acrylic block so that I can flick my paint off the edge of the acrylic block. I'm just gonna use one of these. That gives me a little more control. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, here we go. Let's hope we don't get too many weird paint splatters. That looks great. And I'm glad I put that paper there because it did catch a few little paint splatters that I would not want on the area with my grading. All right, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit here. While I give it a little bit of time to dry, I'm just cleaning up my palette with the baby wipe. Okay. All right, so I'm going to hose with my heat tool to speed up the drying of all the paint, and hopefully it'll dry quick. There were some pretty thick splatters of paint. Like, did that one? Yeah, that wasn't fully dry. That's okay. Okay. Alrighty, we can zoom in on this a little bit again. So now I'm going to trim it down and then put my grading on it. Some of you are saying, 5x7, don't cut it down. I'm debating because my plan was to cut it down to an A2 card, but let's see how much it would get rid of it. It's really not going to lose all that much. It probably would be about right there. Well, maybe a little less, maybe about right there. It's not going to lose all that much of the actual painting. Okay, let's make the decision after putting the greeting on. All right, I've got to put away my markers here so they're not blocking where my Misty is. Got to get my paintbrushes out of the way as well. All right, so there is the card design. I'm going to do the sending love and hugs. I also think the thinking of you or wishing you the best would work, but I think sending love and hugs is great. All right, I'm just going to have it nestled in right there. Use a little bit of an anti-static powder tool. Probably won't need it because watercolor paper is very dry. Generally, you don't need it very much on watercolor paper. Using Versamark ink. Make sure that's in that corner tight. And I'm going to stamp this twice, since it is textured watercolor paper. Using the same gold embossing powder I used before. Tip this with my heat tool until it's smooth and melted. Lovely. It's a very, very dainty greeting. I almost want to paint a little bit more color for the background, but I will refrain. Okay, so if I do an A2 card, I think I would cut it right there. If I do an A7 card, let me grab my dice. If I do an A7, I'd have to cut it down a little bit because the paint doesn't go all the way to the edge. It would have to be right there. Yeah, I don't like that as much. Wait, let's see here. Maybe that on a 5x7. No, it doesn't look right. Huh. Okay, yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll do this. So it's just going to be a little smaller than a 5x7. It will go on a 5x7 card base though. I think you really can't go wrong. Either way is good. Okay, about like that. I'm going to grab a little scrap of like computer paper just to kind of like cover that up. Now people are saying A2. Seriously, I think it could go either way. Oh, look at that. All that ink came through. I'm glad I did a little piece of scrap paper in there. Okay, so there we go. Didn't lose very much. You'll be happy. Okay. Grab an A7 card base. You know what? The colors are not the colors from the color card. That bright yellow I brought in changed things. But it still looks good. Like it was inspired by those colors for sure. Ooh, I need to make some more A7 card bases soon. I'm almost out. Okay. So that'll go right there. I'm gonna grab, oh, what was that? Oh, it was a tip of a pen. It's all good. We're okay. I've got my Big Mama foam roll. Big Mama foam roller from Altenew. Oh yeah, matting it on black would be very dramatic. Maybe we'll have to compare and decide what we're doing here in a moment, because I do have a black 5x7 card base that I could look at before I adhere this. Okay, let's look at this black card base. Okay, we have a black card base as well. That is very dramatic. I think I like the white. I like the brightness, because then this almost fade at the bottom seems more intentional. I'm gonna go with white. I like to do, like when I adhere my watercolor backgrounds to a card, more often than not, I will use foam tape, because if there's any warping of the paper, I think the foam kind of gives it a little bit more structure so that it doesn't pull away from the card base. At least I've noticed that. Okay, double checking the folds on the right side. Okay, there we are. That is the card for tonight. We did that in just over an hour, which is pretty good if I don't say so myself, if I do say so myself. So here, let's tip this in light so you can see that gold splatter. It's really pretty up close. Those colors are so vibrant. It is so vibrant in person. It doesn't even come across on camera. So I've got links down below to the stamp sets and let me see if I can grab the stamps for you. The stamps and the coordinating dies, which are available right now. Like I've got the dies in the back of my stamp packaging here. But outside of that really, really large floral image, there's some smaller flowers as well. Let me get this back in its packaging. So you have like a stem, and then you can put the individual flowers on top, which I think is kind of great. Some other great greetings in here. Pretty versatile stamp set. So I hope you'll check it out. I'm going to do a quick spiel for those watching the edited replay, and then I'll stick around for just a few more minutes. So here is the finished card for tonight. The gold embossing, looks really good against all that colorful paint. I like the paint splatter. That turned out really well. The stamp set is linked down below. There are coordinating dies that go with the stamp set that are available right now as well. You've got this really, really large image, but you also have like an individual stem with leaves as well as the flowers that go on top of it. So you can have like an individual flower and stem for your card. So that is the card for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back with some more card videos very soon. Thanks for joining me. Okay. Well, gosh, you guys were chatty tonight. You were talking about Disney World. You were talking about Posca markers. Like, what else did we cover? I don't even know. We covered the weather quite a bit. You were chatty. I was just painting away, and you guys were pretty chatty. That worked out well. All right. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys love it. Yeah, I do like the font on the sentiments, too. I think they're really great. Can I recommend a bright Christmas red cardstock? Liz is asking that. Okay, so a bright Christmas red. I would say super bright would be Poppy by Concord and Ninth. That's like super, super bright. Let me grab it for you and we'll compare some reds. Okay, my actual favorite red right now is from Spellbinders, and it is, I couldn't find it on their website anymore. I don't think they even sell it anymore, which makes me like super, super sad. Where did I put it? Is it Phone Booth? Is that what it is? I think it was Phone Booth. Spellbinders Phone Booth. Or no, maybe it was Pomegranate. I think it was Pomegranate. Spellbinders has a few reds that are really nice. Okay. If you're looking for like a really, really bright red though, okay, here we go. If you're looking for a super, super bright, you've got this one's Concord and Ninth Poppy. It's a pretty bright red. You can see it right there. Or there's Simus's Stamp Lipstick Red. Either one of those. The Poppy red is like, it's just like, it's got a little more of a, I don't know, like almost a, there you go. That's the difference. This is the C9 Poppy. This is the Simus's Stamp Lipstick Red. The Lipstick Red has a little bit of a texture to it. It's not as smooth. I mean, I would still stamp on it. It's like not that big of a difference. But if you're looking for like a super smooth, really bright Christmas red, I'd go for C9 Poppy. Yeah, that's what I think Gina K has a really good red as well. I don't think I have it to show you, but I think she has one too. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put this other cardstock away. That's okay. Let's see here. Going back up, catching more comments. Any other questions? Okay. Oh, Erica says, will you be playing with the latest C9 release soon? I need to see your creations. You know, I haven't. I got distracted with everything going on with Sophie and Daphne, so I never broke it out. I probably should. I haven't had a chance to do anything with it. La 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 la. Oh, Kelly says, I love your nail color. Thanks, Kelly. This is Adore Me from Dazzle Dry. And I linked to it, but I think it's actually not sold anymore. I think it's discontinued, sadly. Beth says, looking forward to the end of August Pink Fresh class with you and others. Yes, it's going to be so good. The Pink Fresh class is going to be good. I don't know if it's sold out yet. As of last week, midweek, I think they still have some spots left. So if you go over to the Pink Fresh website and go to their events area, it's the Create and Connect, I think is what they call it. It's their August one. Was it Phone Booth? Yeah, I really like Phone Booth, but I can't find it on the website anymore. I have no idea if they still sell it from Spellbinders. Yep, discontinued. Let's see here. Cheryl's asking, have I done this watercolor technique on Better Press? Like on their cardstock? No, I don't have any Better Press cardstock. I have used the Better Press on watercolor paper and then watercolor though. I have done that. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Well, maybe it was 3 actually. A more recent video. I think it says like, this might be my favorite Christmas kit. In that video is when I do that. When I Better Press the design and then watercolor. Okay. Oh, Mindy says Red Velvet from Gina K is a good one too. See, I thought she had a good one. Oh, Andrea's looking for a good red ink that's not water reactive. Yeah, Simon's Original, like Lipstick Red or Schoolhouse Red, either one of those is good. I'm trying to think if I know of any other waterproof red inks. Everyone's going to kind of like this water reactive. There's not that many that are waterproof anymore. I think Gina K, her ink formulation is waterproof. I could be wrong. Maybe not on all of hers. Let's see here. I think that was the last question. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'll be back soon on Wednesday with another video. I actually have it edited. I've been waiting to share it like forever. So it's ready to go, but it is another watercolor video. In fact, it's specifically about like, why do I choose one watercolor medium over another, depending on the project? Like, why did I use markers on this? Why didn't I use my Mission Gold tube paints? A question like that. So those of you in my premium membership have already seen that. It was a live from last month. I've edited that down and I'll be sharing it here with everyone. So if you would like to see videos before they come out, have more live streams, I encourage you to check out my premium membership down below. Click the join button for as little as $5 a month. It helps support me. It helps me bring more videos to you every month and keeps that creativity going. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you all in another video very soon.